Welcome to Sikbaggers YouTube channel. I'm Steve. Today we got a couple of brand new products on the table here from CIRO3D. So today we're going to have the adjustable frame mounted highway pegs, which we already have on our 14 Street Glide. Absolutely love them. And we got the new chicane line foot pegs too. So this product isn't brand new from CIRO3D, but it is brand new for the 23 CVOs and the 24s. We did a video a couple of weeks ago on the whole chicane line from CIRO3D. These were made specifically for the 23 CVOs and the 24s because they made those changes down there. So you may or may not have seen our video on the whole chicane line that CIRO3D just came out with. We just put that out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'll put a link down in the description below if you want to check out that video. But we did the whole lineup minus these two pieces because they just got stock on these. But we did that whole lineup on this 24 back here. The cool part about that chicane line is they came out with everything right out of the gate. So everything matches. Back here on the 24, we did the grips, we did the driver floorboards, we did the rider pegs, we did the heel toe shifter, and of course the brake pedal on the other side. And it all matches. So you have a complete matching set at the end of the day. We'll go over the adjustable mounts real quick. As always from CIRO3D, you can get this in a couple of different flavors. You can get them in chrome or black, and you can also get them in standard or extended reaches. Standard is going to be a 4-inch reach, and then the extended is going to be a 5.5-inch reach. So today we're going to be installing the black standard reach along with the blacked out footrest. So of course all the tools that I use will also be listed down below. Right below these products you can see the tools that we need. It doesn't take anything really super special to get this on, but if you want to get your hands on any of the tools that we're using in the shop, make sure to check out those links as well. And real quick, over here on the table, this is everything you're going to get in the box. As always from CIRO3D, full instructions with pictures, and these are always detailed pictures. And of course here we got the pegs and the hardware you're going to get with it, and once again full color instructions. But today I'm going to show you how to put it on your bike, because if you're like me, I learn a little bit better from watching people than I do reading instructions. So let's get our tools over here and let's get started. I'm going to show you this on the left side just because I have more room on this side to get the camera in. The other side I will bring you over there just a second to just touch on a couple of things. The first thing we want to do is remove this floorboard. Super easy to do. You're going to grab a 3/16 hex and a 7/16 box wrench. We have the ratcheting style here. We're going to get in here and pull these off. Now make note of the way that these go back on, right? So the rear one goes forward and the front one goes back, right? So that you've got your nuts will be on the inside of this bracket. So we're gonna pull that one, pull this one, and that's easy, right? We're gonna get that thing out of the way. So when you get these out of the package, I looked over them, I don't necessarily see that they're marked right and left, but it's easy to figure out which way to do this. You're gonna put this up here just like this. This bolt and this bolt are going to be used, so here and here. So if we put this up here and this one's going way down here like this one doesn't go there. This bracket down here is actually this bracket because we're removing this one. So we're going to grab the other one and I'm going to slide it up into place, and you'll see this bolt is this bolt and this bolt, right? So we set that up there. You can see this is now this. So this is the left side and your other one will be the right side. So pretty easy to figure out. On these, you've got a rear mount here that goes right here. You've got a front mount here that's right here. The CIRO3D pegs are actually going to use this bolt here as well. Instead of just the one on this bracket, you will now have two. So we're going to take a 5/16 hex and we're going to remove this bolt for the floorboard mount. This bolt is part of your kickstand mount plate, and then we're going to loosen the rear floorboard mount. We're not going to take this one out, just loosen it. So on the two bolts that we just pulled out, that front one with that ton of blue Loctite on it, we are going to keep this one and reuse it. You can take that front bracket, set it off to the side. The rear one, you can set that off to the side too, because we have a bolt in the new bracket that's going to be used in the place of that one. On this rear one in the kickstand, it appears that they use one of their little white Harley Davidson patches that they call. It's just a patch that goes on here, and it's basically thread locker, right? So all of this white stuff that came out of there is all of that powder, and those get gummed up really bad. So if you don't already have a thread chaser kit like this, you should probably get one, especially if you're working on your Harley at home. It's a small investment. I use this all the time. This has your metrics and standards in it, and what I'm going to do is match that up. We've matched that bolt hole up with a 3/8. And you can see that this just goes in and out of that hole and cleans that hole up. And then of course you have your nuts to put on the bolts that we're going to be reusing to clean those up as well. Now it's important to note that this is not a tap and die set. This is a thread chaser kit. I will have a link down in the description down below too. So this is just straight from Amazon. Like I said, I used the tar out of this one. This is a 3/8 nut out of here. You got fine and coarse thread as well. So make sure that you get the proper one. We're going to spin this on here. I'm going to get this on here with our hands. Pretty good, just spinning it back and forth. If you have to, put a wrench on it, whatever you need to do. But that just cleans up all that old crap on there, because Harley uses a lot on the floorboard brackets. So like all of that crap just came off that nut. So that's what we want to get off there. So this top one here, we're going to run this one in and out, all the way in, all the way back out to try to get that threaded out. Loctite 243 medium strength. The blue stuff is what I use mainly on Harleys, unless it calls for red, which is pretty rare. So we're going to take that OEM bolt. We're going to add a little thread locker on this. Now the OEM bolt had a split washer on it, but inside your package is going to be a flat washer. We're going to add that to that. That's going to go through that center hole in the bracket right there, just like that. Inside the kit, you're going to have 6 bolts, a short fine thread, a medium sized fine thread, and then the longest bolt in there is going to be a coarse thread. We're going to take that, a provided split washer, and a flat washer out of the bag. So split washer on first, flat washer after that. Once again, a little bit of blue thread locker on that. We're going to put this into position. Go ahead and run that one in. Now I'm going to run these in, but I'm not going to tighten them. I'm going to leave this where this is kind of wiggly. I'm just going to run them in a little bit. So this still moves, which helps us get the floorboards back on. We're going to slide this back on. Rear bolt goes from the rear forward. Once we get the bolt through there, then put your Loctite on so we don't take any chances of smearing that off. Same thing on the front. It goes from the front through the bracket. Now the floorboard's mounted, we can go ahead and tighten up these 3 bolts. 2024 Street Glide Road Glide service manual tells us that this bolt and this bolt get torqued 36 to 42 foot-pounds. We flip over to the Jiffy stand side, it tells us the same thing, 36 to 42 foot-pounds on that. Flip back over here to these bolts that we put on up here that actually hold the floorboard on. Those are going to be 60 to 80 inch-pound. So I've got my torque wrench set to 40. I'm going to put that on. We're going to listen for 1 click, 1 ugga-dugga, not 2. Don't keep clicking it. Tighten it till you hear the 1 click and you're done. So essentially this side is installed and it's ready to go. We're going to go ahead and mount our peg. So we're going to take that bolt that was in here. We're going to put a split washer on it that was inside that kit. We're going to put that into the hole there. Once again, a little blue thread locker. So if I get that up there on camera, hopefully you can see that little tooth right there. That little tooth has to fall out in that slot right there. That's what's going to keep that from going way too far this way or way too far this way. So we want to make sure we orientate that in that hole. I know I like mine pretty well even with the engine guard. So we go ahead and start that bolt. So inside our kit we got those 2 short fine thread bolts and 2 more split washers, right? So we're going to take that, little blue Loctite on that as well. Again, that's going to go from the back side here, put it up into place. I'm just going to start this. We want to leave it loose for right now until we actually get our peg on there so we can make our adjustments. So we're going to thread it in just enough to keep it from moving while we set our foot peg. You don't have to tighten it just yet. If you're using the chicane pegs like we have on the back there, the longest side goes to the top, shortest side goes to the bottom. So now that we have our clevis mount on here, right, we've just got to tighten just enough to keep it from kind of flopping around. We've actually got our clevis right here. That's going to go right in here just like this, right? So inside the kit, we got these like 2 little flat kind of bent washers, right? It's kind of got a curve to it. When you slide these into the edge of this, the curve is going to go towards the peg. So if this is our clevis inside the peg, this goes just like this, and that goes just like that. and we're going to slide this up into place. You kind of got to pinch everything in there and get everything to line up. What I like to do is just take a flathead screwdriver like this, and you can kind of just waller it around in there in a circular motion. It'll kind of get everything lined up for you. So we'll get our medium fine threaded bolt out of the package. We'll go ahead and run it in. So now we just want to get everything where we want it, right? This may take a couple of times of you adjusting and riding and adjusting and riding, so make sure you just leave these tools out for a couple of rides just in case you want to make some adjustments. So I'm going to back this one off just a tad. I kind of know exactly where I want mine. I'm going to lift mine up to about right there, slightly higher than the board. I'm going to tighten that down, put a little oomph on the end of that. So this one, I can still adjust, right? So I've got this, so I can bring it up here like that. I can bring it down. Like I said, I keep mine just slightly higher than the board, right? So my board's here. So I'm gonna put that right there. This one here, I'm gonna grab an Allen wrench because it's hard to get one of those Torx heads in there. But I'll go ahead and get it where I want it. We're gonna tighten it down. So that's what it's going to look like installed, flipped up and flipped down. Flipped up, it's not in the way. There's one thing I want to mention about the other side of the bike. Yes, you are just going to repeat this entire process on the other side of the bike. But if you have an exhaust system that came with a spacer, you're going to need another spacer. You're either going to have to buy one at a hardware store or get up with your exhaust system people, whoever your exhaust that you have, and ask or have them ship you another spacer, right? Because it uses this bolt down here. So if you have a spacer back here on this one, you also have to put a spacer back here on this one. So that's pretty much it. Pretty easy to do. I'm gonna go to the other side of the bike and I'm gonna install that, and then I'll bring you back here and we'll walk around the bike and see what they look like. So that's going to be it. Like I said, super easy installing the frame mounted highway pegs for the 23 CVO and the 24s. And what's really nice about that style, like I was mentioning when I was installing it, is there's all kinds of adjustability on those. It's not just put it on your crash bar and you got a little bit of up and down movement. When you try to pull it in closer to you or farther away from you, you're actually turning the peg. This has the adjustability in it to move it up and down, back and for all kinds of stuff, right? So you saw all the different adjustments that we could do on that to get them exactly where we want them. If you want to get your hands on these, like I said, all the links will be down in the description down below. Make sure to check out that chicane video that I did on the rest of this stuff if you're interested in this lineup. Like I said, all the tools that we use today will be listed down there as well. I hope this video helped you, and if it did, don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and tell your friends about us. That's what keeps us coming out here and making these videos for you. I'm going to get out of here and get myself back to work. I hope to see you in the next video, but until then, take care of yourself, be safe out there on the roads, and keep your knees in the breeze. Hey, thanks for stopping by and checking out our videos today. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button, hit the little subscribe button popping up over here. If you want to check out more of our content, I've got 2 videos right here that'll get you started. Not really going to say anything else, just click one of those videos and take you to another video.